Well, the long-debated tennis court renovation at Needham High School is nearing the finish line. Expected to wrap up by mid-September, the project marks a major upgrade for student athletes and the town. Ashley Tobin has more.
The controversial tennis court renovation at Needham High School is nearing completion with an estimated finish date in mid-September. After years of wear and months of debate, the courts are just weeks away from their first major upgrade.
The last two sports that have not gone through without a facelift, upgrade, or major renovation were softball and tennis. We just completed the renovation of McLeod Field this past spring. The high school tennis courts have not had any type of renovation since the high school was renovated and the additions were put on some time ago.
Cracks and damage to the courts forced the high school teams to practice and compete on other town courts like Mills Field and Newman.
Currently, all of both the boys and the girls JV varsity and freshman teams, ninth grade teams, are using Mills and Newman. So that negates any access to the public from basically after school till 7-ish, Monday to Friday.
The renovation sparked lots of discussion in planning board meetings last year. Neighbors worried about the project's size, noise from potential pickleball players, and stray tennis balls landing in their yards. The original design included just 25 feet of buffer from property lines, a 12-foot fence, and a shade structure between the courts. But after feedback from neighbors and the planning board, the plan changed to include a 14-foot fence along the Webster Street side of the courts, moving the courts closer to the parking lot so that the closest property line has a 35-foot buffer, and removing the shade structure to keep the courts oriented in the same direction as before. Plus, no pickleball will be allowed on the courts. One of the biggest debates was whether 8 courts were really needed or if 6 would be enough. Athletic Director Ryan Madden and the boys team strongly advocated for 8.
Notes that 8 courts were essential to optimize the program and create a successful experience for the student athletes. And that letter concludes that the 8 tennis courts are not just an upgrade. They represent a critical investment in the student athletes' development and the needs of the program.
In support of 8 courts for a few reasons. With 8 courts, the teams will not need to use the other courts in town. With 6 courts, the tennis team would still need to use other sets of courts, and that would be inconvenient and probably extend their practice time as well as their competition time. With 8 courts, they get the flexibility to schedule practices that combine their varsity and JV teams and occasionally practices alongside the women's team as well. Point number 3, with 8 courts, varsity and JV matches can be held at the same site, which is great for team spirit and camaraderie.
The upgrade is more than cosmetic and will help one of Needham's prominent athletic programs continue to develop. This spring, 5 members of the program were named Bay State Conference All-Stars, and another was named to the Boston Globe All-Scholastic list. Once the new courts open, they will benefit more than just the high school teams, as the public and Parks and Rec programs will be able to use the courts as well. For Needham Channel Sports, I'm Ashley Tobin.